really familiar. I've seen you before, haven't I?
Barry.
Barry.
Barry Allen.
Right,
It's fine.
sorry.
Some people are just meant to be in your life.
What am I going to do with you?
Well, I can think of a few things. Might need a stretch first, though.
You told me the dead don't want anything. Either I'm willing to do whatever is necessary, or I shouldn't be up there at all.
Which is exactly why I can't be.
You can't kill murder. You can't get revenge on evil. You can only fight them where they live.
Schnicked. X-Men. Hi, everyone.
Hello,
Welcome
everyone.
to the Fandom Zone, episode 88, the long-awaited episode 88.
Yeah, we're trying. We're still having some audio difficulties on my end.
Well, we don't know where it is, to be honest. It could be anywhere. So we're here.
As long as it records fine, that's all that matters, I guess.
That's right. I'm going to unplug the soundboard completely.
Yes. Get rid of that soundboard.
Okay, no soundboard.
Kill it.
It's unplugged. Okay.
All right.
But the theme recorded fine. I could hear everything on my end at least. So, okay. Fandom Zone episode 88. I have Christmas 2016 as the title. But right now it is for the week ending January 14th. And we are going to be talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 409 and Luke Cage 112 and 113.
Yes. So apologies for the delay, everyone. We've been having some technical difficulties because now, I listen to Karen and she talks like she is cutting in and out of the conversation.
Yes. I can hear Charles though. And I've had conferences, and I don't know what the problem is.
So I'm dying to know what my recording sounds like.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll find out. But we're going to try and muddle through because you guys have been waiting way too long.
You have. And we've missed you, and we've missed talking to each other.
Because we were supposed to talk about this stuff 2 weeks ago.
More than that. Christmas.
Well, Christmas, yeah. So before 2016. So here we are 2 weeks later into 2017. So Happy New Year, everybody.
That's right. Happy New Year. Okay, so shall we just start with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Let's jump right in.
Let's jump right in. So, episode 409, Broken Promises, written by Brent Fletcher, directed by Gary A. Brown.
Nice.
As we start off the new year.
Mm-hmm. And I have titles, and I only really like one of them. But
yeah, I can't even see the titles because I'm trying to strip
minimize everything
in the hopes that help this connection.
Yeah. Okay, so I have He's Not Inhuman, He's My Brother.
That's nice.
Resurrection Woman, which would be Ada, Resurrection Man.
Right.
Be like Ada and her whole, oh, it wasn't really Ada. It was the fake Ada the whole time. And then Choppinator Man by Yo Mac.
Which I don't get that title.
Chopping Mall, Terminator, Lawnmower Man by Yo-Yo and Mac.
I get it. All right, it's a hybrid title.
Right. So Choppinator.
There was tonzo movie references.
It was Lawnmower Man, Terminator 1 through 4, including Salvation. Maximum Overdrive, Chopping Mall, and Small Wonder.
Yeah.
Those
I respected the Lawnmower Man. That was
that was good.
That was a nice obscure reference. So.
And I really, really enjoyed where he says all the Terminator movies and, no, wait. She says all the Terminator movies and he says even Salvation. And she says he brought it on to himself. I love that line. It's so great. I love that they got each other completely on that point. They were just so in. Has he not seen movies from the 80s?
Yeah, pretty much. And I love that Mac is the and we'll probably talk about this later, but I love that Mac is the hard dose of realism that this show needs desperately.
Yeah. I do too. And
He's the audience's point of view character going like, come on, have you guys not seen a Terminator movie?
right. And
Or did you not were you not there when Ultron
right.
like trashed Sokovia?
Right. And it also shows how connected he and Yo-Yo is, which I love very much so, because immediately Yo-Yo's like, what? They let her read the book?
Are you shipping Yo-Yo and Mac really hard?
Big time. Big time. So hard.
Yep.
And I think they're shipping each other as well. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Yo, Mac. What?
I miss talking with you.
Oh, do you? I missed it a lot.
So, yeah. Sorry. So, yeah. Obviously we had this hiatus from each other because we couldn't talk to each other because of stupid Skype and stuff.
Right. And I miss Charles.
Skype shakes fist.
I know. He's one of my bestest friends ever. Charles is.
Aww.
So I miss
And you're
him.
mine.
Oh. Okay, so let's talk about
Big hugs.
Big hugs. Let's talk about Nadir.
Yeah.
She's the worst, am I right?
Ellen Nadir. So, yeah.
She's the worst. So she's decided that she has made this pact with her brother that if one of them has ever become inhuman, what is this pact, by the way?
Well, apparently what happened was during what they call as the Battle of New York, which as we know as the first Avengers movie.
Right.
With the alien race, the Chitauri.
Right.
And when they had invaded our dimension, what have you, planet, their mother was killed during this battle.
Right.
And so obviously it really affected Ellen.
Right.
And it affected VJ.
But in different ways.
They made some pact that they promised to kill every alien after their mother's death. And now Ellen sees VJ, her brother, her bro, as an alien because he's an inhuman.
Right.
Even though he was born on Earth, even though they're brother and sister.
Right.
But because he's inhuman, suddenly he's born from somewhere else, so go figure that one out.
Right. Because he's been morphed and
right.
His
he's
DNA is
not human,
changed.
so therefore he's alien.
Right. So this is that pact that they've made. And so she takes it upon herself to enact this whole thing. And here's what gets me is, okay, yes, they made that pact, but she wines and dines him out in the country in this place that they both loved.
Yeah, it's this big countryside mansion.
Yeah. And he wakes up dreaming about his mother, which is heartbreaking already.
Right.
And she is just, here's some memories for you. Oh, don't you just love it out here? Here's some nice food for you. And then, oh, have I mentioned the watchdogs that I have out here?
Oh, did I mention they're trying to kill you?
Mm-hmm. And then she takes him out like a rabid dog that she would take out and, put a bullet in the back of its head, which is almost exactly what happens. And as he's pleading with her, she finally decides, oh, let me rethink. Let me reassess. And I don't know. I just, she had no intention of ever really reassessing because she doesn't even think twice about it later. So what was that about?
Who knows?
Right? It was just so, I guess, the good guys could come and land on the island and talk to her. It was for our benefit, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, she has that little, a wavering of her faith, I guess, out there in the woods. And it gives us a chance also to see in the mind of, Shockley, the watchdog henchman.
Okay.
played by John Piper Ferguson. And, excuse me. And he has just been on Suits as a slimy lawyer trying to blackmail everyone at the firm. So he's kind of pigeonholed, I have to say. But to see him with like long hair and everything in this, just after seeing him in Suits, it was...
I'm kind of losing you again, by the way.
Okay. John Piper Ferguson, I was saying, as Shockley.
Yeah.
He was just on, okay, he was just on Suits, the show Suits, as a slimy lawyer. And, he tried to blackmail everyone on Suits. So kind of the same character, but in a suit.
Okay.
And with short hair.
Got it.
So it was weird to see him in this role. And he was interesting to see him also take that call and to say, oh, the boss wants us to put him down anyway. So, I mean, who's the boss? It's obviously not Nadir. Who do you think he's reporting to?
Didn't catch that last part.
Who do you think,
I hate this technology.
Who is Shockley reporting to?
Who is Shockley reporting to? Good question.
Cause he got a call saying, you know, we gotta take him down. The boss says to take him down.
Right. So what you're saying is that the watchdogs may not be under Senator Nadir as we thought. That maybe they're like under the control of somebody else.
Correct.
Okay.
Got it. Well, I mean, she's definitely bankrolling them.
Mm-hmm.
And she has power over them, but they did get a heads up that they needed to take out Nadir's brother.
Right.
So I just wondered who is it? Is it going to be someone that we know on the show? Is it going to be that guy from Heroes?
The guy from
Heroes?
Heroes?
Yeah. The military guy?
Oh, Adrian Pasdar, General Talbot.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, could it be him? Could it be, I mean, I'm trying to think
I don't think so. I don't think it's him. I don't think it's Talbot.
I'm just wondering who it could be.
It's a good question.
Because I'm assuming it's someone that we know.
You would think it would be like Mace, but...
Yeah. Well, we know he was working with her already.
Mm-hmm. But Mace is an Inhuman and outed himself as an Inhuman.
Right. So why would he want that? He wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think he would want that either. So I'm kind of inclined to think it's not Mace.
Right. Me too.
No. Unless it's Radcliffe.
Oh.
Because we know Radcliffe's up to shit.
Because of Radcliffe's.
Because of Ada.
Because of his little.
Yeah, so it could be Radcliffe.
Sense thing at the end there.
There's a big reveal with him in this episode.
Right. Oh my God, he was dead the whole time at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, they take out Ada, and then at the end of the episode, it's like, turns out, oh, guess what? I'm behind everything, and here's another version of Ada.
Right.
That I just happen to have because, hey, they're LMDs.
Right.
And so apparently this whole Ada being human thing was a total act.
Right. Right.
And he's all like all pissed off because he's not going to be able to get a hold of the Darkhold again.
Right. Now, can I ask you a question about that?
Sure. What?
Were you expecting that at all?
I was kind of hoping because John Hannah is able to play Weasley characters really well.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I liked his little bromance with Fitz.
Me too.
So I kind of didn't want to see it to happen, but I wasn't surprised that it did.
I was completely surprised. I had no idea that was coming.
Yeah. I had no idea it was coming either, but I wasn't surprised when it came out. I was just like, well, okay, I guess he'll turn, and...
Wow. It just...
Yeah. Poor Fitz is going to be so pissed.
It was one of those things where I was like, okay, well, they set it up definitely with Eli from last season saying a man of science could get turned by the Darkhold because it can help you make those leaps and bounds in science without doing the work. And, we saw that with Eli, that, he wanted that whole, I can manipulate things. I can do all this stuff that I've dreamed of my whole life, being a scientist. And so to see Radcliffe do it, it's not a stretch because they set it up last season or the first part of this season. And so it was kind of like I can't believe it. But I also was like, that was unexpected. It really was. But it also explained a lot, how Ada got around all that programming. Well, he did it, obviously. He unprogrammed the pain thing in her system, and he helped her, get May off. He helped her kidnap May and make the May bot, and all that stuff. So there's that. That was really, that kind of blew my mind in this one.
And apparently the whole plan is to have the May LMD, try and get the Darkhold again.
Right, by cozying up to Coulson.
So you would think Coulson would figure out that May is not May.
You'd think. But he has a thing for May.
But I'm kind of dreading, I'm kind of dreading that he's going to be like, oh, May, you're so dreamy. And then.
Okay, so one of my fears is that there are so many people that ship May and Coulson. And now they're going to make this fake May Coulson relationship. And then, of course, it's going to get torn out from under everyone because it's not really May.
Right.
And people are going to hate it. They're really going to hate it because it's betraying Coulson 100%. And I hate this because, number one, we're not watching a soap opera. And number two is I don't like that they're using this, sex body thing to undermine Coulson when Coulson has already gone through so much. And it's just.
Well, I think it's just kind of torturing the fans a little bit.
Yeah.
The shippers that they ship Coulson and May.
Right.
So it's like, how can we have fun with this? We can get them together, and then, guess what? It's May LMD, and
right.
And then me, I'm just having flashbacks to Lois and Clark all over again.
With the frogs.
Because remember with the whole frog clone thing that I still bugs
I hate it.
Crap out of me to this day.
I hate it. 20
years later.
I know. Well, while we're in this part of the episode, since we kind of skipped to it, but it's fine because the whole episode is kind of an amalgam. They revealed when this part of the season started that we're in 3 pods for the season. The first pod was the Ghost Rider pod. And the second pod is LMD. And there's a promotional poster with which has all the agents in red except for May, who's in a white bar, and it's because she's an LMD, obviously. And they're calling it Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. LMD, the middle third of the season.
Yeah, apparently they're breaking it up into 3 parts.
Right. And
so the question is, what's going to be the third storyline this season?
Marissa Tencherowin said it goes Ghost Rider, LMDs, and then Puppies and Rainbows. That's what she says. So,
well, hopefully that means Lockjaw because they're supposed to be setting up the Inhuman series.
Right. Well, we'll find out. But they said, well, the S.H.I.E.L.D. couldn't reveal what the third pod of season 4 will be about. They did reveal that it will have something to do with the first two. It's all connected, Loeb said. So I'm assuming it will have something to do with the Inhumans.
I would think because, for those who don't know, they're going to be doing an Inhumans with the Inhuman royal family at last. So they're going to be showing this in IMAX, the first couple episodes, and then it airs on TV.
Right.
On ABC as an ABC series from that point on.
Right.
And so
Kree,
if they're going to set that up.
Kree? That's where Inhuman starts, right? Kree?
Yeah. Basically it's a Kree experiment from way long ago that kind of like evolved into its own secret society.
Right.
And, so yeah, you've got the royal family. So this is going to be like on Black Bolt. You've got Medusa, Karnak, Gorgon, Triton. So Crystal.
Right.
So it should, these are the humans we want to see.
Right. So we'll see where that third goes. But this was the start of that second. Right. The second third of the season.
And it could be really cool if they do it right.
It could be.
If they do it right.
Right. And we also had some news just this last week come up about Patton Oswalt, who's coming back to the show. And I'm guessing we're going to learn that he is also an LMD.
Well, that would make perfect sense, wouldn't it?
Yep, it would.
Because you've got now everybody thought, well, it's clones. But I was hoping LMDs.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big S.H.I.E.L.D. geek.
Right.
From the comics. So I been waiting for LMDs forever.
Right. So the fact that they announced that he's coming back now and some secret is going to be revealed about him says to me, LMD.
If it's not an LMD, I'm going to be really disappointed.
Yeah, me too. And I think Patton Oswalt would be having like a total fanboy moment to be an LMD. I think he would love that.
So the question now is, okay, which one is the prime?
The one that died, probably.
Which is the actual human.
Yeah.
Or is that one dead and all they have are the LMDs?
Who knows?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. We'll have to find out.
Tune in next time.
That's right. Okay. So, and we, yes, I see you got Daredevil and Katana.
Yes. Yeah, 2 new additions to the Funko.
I like them.
Forgot to mention it, but.
Yeah, well, we were talking about the opening.
This is the TV Daredevil, by
I
the
know,
way.
I like it. It's a bobblehead, too.
It's a bobblehead, so yeah.
I like it.
So he makes noise.
I hear it. Okay, we also had a part where Daisy gets called into Mace's office in this episode. And they have a lovely conversation, Mace and Daisy.
Yep.
Now, Mace tells her that, hey, you better be thanking me because I did you a huge favor. And Daisy is not buying it. Daisy says, yeah, you did me a favor, but you also did yourself a favor. You used this so you could come out.
Right.
So you wouldn't get caught on the carpet. And one of the things I liked was that,
they still don't know that Mace was being blackmailed by
Nadir.
Senator Nadir. Yeah.
Right. But even she can see that at some point it probably would have come out that he was an Inhuman, so he just took the opportunity and said, hey, I'm an Inhuman, Daisy's an Inhuman, we've been doing all this together. It's a no-brainer for her to say that. And I like how she was like, oh, nice award. And he's like, oh, come on, it's nothing. And she says, you don't get to humble brag when you have it
right
framed on your desk. And I enjoyed that Daisy doesn't take his crap. And I really, really liked it. And they get in this they start to snap at each other and he shakes it off finally and says, okay, we can't get into this here. But at least we have the face, you know, we know who this guy could be, so we need to find out who he is. And she's right there, already on top of it, you know, oh, we already know who he is, haha. And so they decide, okay, then we'll have to go after him. And isn't it a shock to him when he finds out it's Nadir's brother? And I'm wondering what's going through his head when he finds out now he has something on Nadir.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all these layers in his head, right? Going on about it that probably the other people aren't getting at all, right?
I would think so.
Although none of that comes to fruition, although it might down the road.
Yes.
Because they part ways, and now, you know, he knows that she had a brother who was inhuman, and what has happened to him now. So, you know, there's some blackmail material happening on that end as well. Then I've heard a lot of people, and you know, I do a roundtable for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Nice Girls, and we get a lot of people saying they don't trust Mace. And with reason. He's not trustworthy.
No, he obviously looks like he's got his own agenda.
Right.
And, you know, we know that he's capable of lying, of being duplicitous.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems a bit of a glory hound or a PR schmoozy guy. So he's got his own agenda.
Right. Right.
The question is, what is that agenda?
What is the agenda? Right. Is it all about him? Which it could very well be.
And I think we're supposed to learn more about him next week.
I think so too.
This coming week, really.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
From the previews. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Okay, so there's that. And they decide, okay, well, let's find out where she is and we'll go confront her. Yes. So they do, and that they arrive after she has decided, okay, I'm not going to kill you. You know, she's called the henchmen off, but the henchmen aren't getting called off. They arrive just in time to stop Shockley from killing him on the orders of whoever is higher up. Who knows who that is. And they have a chat with her, and there's some tenseness happening there, and we get to see Simmons with a southern accent.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. I'm forgetting the actress's name and plays Simmons, but yeah, she turns on her little Southern belle and actually does a pretty good job as a Southern belle.
It was pretty good, except they know who she is.
Right.
Unfortunately.
I could detect, obviously, you know, I could pick up just a tiny hint of Brit in there.
But if you weren't looking for
it was pretty convincing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, again, they knew who she was, so.
Yeah. So it's kind of wasted,
it was a moot point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it was good though.
Yeah. So now they're connecting.
Elizabeth Henstridge, I think.
That's it. Henstridge.
Yeah.
Yep. So now the whole point behind them going here, and that's for us, not the point for them, but the point for us was that they're connecting Nadir with the watchdogs.
Right.
But Nadir and the watchdogs and her brother get off the island in the helicopter. They slip off. S.H.I.E.L.D. loses them, obviously, because...
Yeah, basically you've got VJ fending off the watchdogs. He's using his agility. Apparently his power is super agility.
Right. Which is pretty cool.
Right, it's just cool, and you can use it, obviously, in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. He's a ninja.
Because you kind of got to have heightened speed, heightened reaction time.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes you pretty formidable. So Simmons is trying to convince him to go with S.H.I.E.L.D. Ellen talks him out of it. They head off on the helicopter. And then Ellen shoots him in the gut.
Yep. She says, I'm sorry, which is, she's not obviously really sorry. And then she tells...
we made each other a promise, so blam.
She tells Shockley to get rid of the body, and they end up dumping him in the water, upon which he is...
That's our epilogue.
Yep, he is encased in another cocoon.
She's like, damn it, I just finally got out of a cocoon and I'm back in it. No.
Yeah, and they keep drawing me back in. Yeah, so
they keep pulling me back in.
Now we haven't seen anyone.
Nadir also used this as a way to reassure the watchdogs that she was Team Watchdog.
Right.
And didn't want anybody questioning her again. It's like, dude, I just killed my brother in front of you.
Right.
So obviously I'm on board.
But
okay?
Still.
Yeah.
I hate her.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I could hate anyone that she played.
Well, obviously her brother's not dead.
Nope.
Because otherwise we would see him go back in a Terragenesis cocoon.
Right. And we've never had anyone go into a Terragenesis cocoon twice, right?
No, we haven't.
So who knows?
We don't know what's going to happen.
Is he going to get a second power now?
Or a whole new set of powers, or what?
Right.
Or can he just never die?
See, now that would be really interesting.
Right.
So we'll find out.
Obviously there's going to be a confrontation between the siblings.
He's going to have to have some revenge.
Hey, remember that time in the helicopter when you shot me in the gut and then dumped my body overboard in the lake?
Yep.
Or river or whatever?
Yeah.
You left me in a van down by the river.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some confrontation happening there. Yeah, not so good.
I think so. Is that about it? Or you want to talk about Mac and the shotgun axe?
Well, no, I would like to talk just a hair about Mac and Yo-Yo.
Okay.
Because I love them together. We talked about it a little bit. I love the references, and I like how he and Yo-Yo were the voice of reason throughout this entire episode. They were us, like you said.
Yeah.
We lived through them in this episode.
Max the one who goes around going, dude, did you not see this movie? Do you not realize this could happen?
Right. And they kind of saved the day in the base, right? I mean, they were the ones that chopped off the head of Ada.
Pretty much.
And poor Fitz. I mean, Fitz is the real loser in this episode. And I don't mean loser as in loser. I mean loser as in, he has to be hurting. I mean, that.
And if he's not, he will be once he finds out about, Radcliffe.
Yeah. Who he was kind of starting to bond with.
Yeah.
And.
Like he saw, like, him as a mentor, maybe?
Slightly.
Because he got to indulge his science with someone else that wasn't Simmons, because Simmons is off being busy being Simmons.
Right. And now they have a different relationship, he and Simmons.
Right.
So to have someone that he can kind of collaborate with on a different level.
Because apparently we can't have Simmons and Fitz together for more than 2 episodes.
Right?
Without having to split them up.
I don't get it. And how did you like those 5 1/4 floppy disks to reboot the base?
I was totally geeking on that. I was just like, ooh, I got some of those.
Yeah, me too. I have them somewhere.
And you got to remember, I'm sure if you had 5 1/4 floppies, you were the kind that liked to play the little sliding part and just play with it, sling back and forth. And
I sure did.
And listen to the click as it went back, and sometimes it would get stuck halfway, and you'd have to push it back a little bit.
Exactly. I used to sit here thinking about writing code and play with the little thing. Yeah.
Memories.
Yep. And you know what was the really satisfying thing when I was done with the disc and I didn't have to do anything with it, and I would stick my finger onto the little thing at the bottom so that it couldn't record ever again.
There's some interesting moments here where you start going into an echo.
Oh, sorry.
And it just kind of cuts into an echo, like you're sending in an echo chamber, and then it cuts out again.
Weird.
So I don't know what's going on.
That's very weird.
It is very weird.
Get yourself a modem. That's all I can say.
Well, but it works for everybody else.
I know. I can't explain it.
I can't explain it.
It works for everyone else on my end too.
I know. That's all right. I could probably use an upgrade on my equipment anyway.
All right.
So,
okay, so
sorry for the little tech digression there. We're just trying to troubleshoot this.
Yeah. We'll get it worked out. All right. So what did you give this episode?
I enjoyed this. Solid 8. Nothing too flashy. Not really a big episode to really come back with after a hiatus. But I give it 8 bodies dumped from a helicopter.
Mm-hmm. And I give it 8 squirrely henchmen. Oh, and we didn't talk about Smithers either.
Smithers?
Yeah, the other henchman, Burroughs. Where he's like,
come along, Smithers.
They called him Smithers.
Yeah.
And he's like,
well, gee, Mr. Burns.
Quake, Mace wants to see you. I'm called Daisy. Yeah, that's not what it says on the brief.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did an infographic. I don't know if any of you read my article, but I did an infographic and he's on the left side and it says, you're Quake right. Oh yeah, I don't care. And then Shockley's on the other side and it says, my internal dialogue is the Jaws soundtrack.
Maybe you should tell them where they could read that.
Oh, it's on Nice Girls TV.
There you go.
NiceGirlsTV.com, but it's also in my Facebook feed and it's on the Fandom Zone's Facebook page as well. I linked it there. So
there you go. Awesome.
You can find it there. I thought that was funny to have them side by side and to ask. I asked about what they thought of the henchmen. I like to ask weird questions when I do the round table, and everyone's thrown off guard when I do the round table questions. I'm sure they hate when I do that.
We can always tell when Karen's asking the questions.
Right. Because when they do the round tables and it's like, what did you think of this storyline? And I love their questions, but I always ask.
They're just so it's too
normal questions.
It's just, ordinary questions.
Normal. Yeah. Which is fine.
So you, because you deal with me on a regular basis, you think outside the box.
That's right. Yeah.
You're more, you come out of the left field.
I said, which henchman?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. And I also took some lines
with
out.
A head tilt.
Yeah. There were some lines here. Radcliffe says, I don't see any harm in replacing our hard drive. Better safe than sorry, as they say. And May says, so happy you agree, because it's also an order.
Right.
Which I loved. Okay.
So
Luke
are we
Cage.
finally ready to put Luke Cage to bed?
Let's do it. Oh, can I put Luke Cage to bed?
Hey now.
Okay.
Apologies for not having the sound effects.
Yeah. Luke Cage 112, Soliloquy of Chaos.
Yes. Written by Akilah Cooper and Charles Murray, directed by Phil Abraham.
Alrighty. So, now I watched them yesterday again.
Okay.
I'm just hoping I can tie these back to their storylines. The A story is Unorthodox Methods, Method Man.
Okay, good.
The B story is Cleaning Warehouse.
Okay.
Okay. And the C story is Striker in the Breastplate.
Okay.
Yeah, you may have to help me with these.
Okay.
Hold on a minute.
So what was our A story again?
Unorthodox Methods. And this is where he is disguising himself to fit in.
Yeah, so you got Luke on the run.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he starts off escaping from police custody, as where we left him off in episode 11.
Right.
So the tide of public opinion is slowly turning back to Luke's side.
Mm-hmm.
He's got people going on the air, talking about how Luke Cage is the man and how, he's getting a bad rap from the man. And Luke, while he's on he's on the run, he stops by this bodega store and there's a robbery going on.
Right.
And guess who just happens to be there but Method Man.
Right.
So apparently Luke is a big Method Man fan. Method Man is a big Luke Cage fan.
Right.
And Method Man's geeking over Luke Cage. Luke's like, hey, brother, would you want to trade sweatshirts? And Method Man says, okay, I'll take your bullet-ridden sweatshirt.
He is all over that.
He's like, he holds it up. He's like, yeah, look what I got. Trophy. So, souvenir.
Mm-hmm.
So, total geek on that. And he's like rapping, like he goes on this, Method Man then goes on this show, and he's like laying down some, like, talking about Luke, and, like it's a big Luke Cage rap.
Mm-hmm.
So
I actually like that scene in the radio station.
The one and only Method Man. S.H.I.E.L.D, you already. I'm gonna dedicate this one to the hardest individual on the street right now. Luke Cage, you already know. Bulletproof love your way, brother. Let's get it. Listen. Man, it is what it is. Can't understand a man if you ain't live what he lived. Roaches in the crib, ain't got no food up in the fridge. Plus the crime running rampant and it's screwing up the kids. Sway a minute, what kind of paradise is this? I just want my 40 acres and some carrots on the wrist. But these stakes are trying to gather in the bed where you get the cotton now, plucking ashes off the clip. Off the rip, now a challenger exists. Any bulletproof, shoot, what kind of caliber is this? Got thugs in the store with the barrel on your lips, saying empty out the door before he pound you with the grip, Lord. Who to call when no one obeys the law, and there ain't no Iron Man that can come and save us all. Power to the people and Luke Cage the cause, and the cops got it wrong, we don't think Cage involved. Look, dog, a hero never had one. Already took Malcolm and Martin, this is the last one. I beg your pardon, somebody pulling the fast one. Now we got a hero for hire and he a black one. And bullet hole hoodies is the fashion. We in Hall's Paradise, tell the captain that I'm about to trade the mic for a magnum. Give up my life for Trayvon to have one. Cheer, cause this is bulletproof love. And you already know what a bulletproof does. So you can take it from a bulletproof thug. The hood got his back, dog, bulletproof love. Blood thicker than mud. And who am I to judge if you get a gun in the club? Cause you already know what a bulletproof does. When the hood got your back, dog, bulletproof love.
I thought that was good. And while he was doing that rap, they showed scenes of like people out on the streets wearing hoodies like Luke Cage's with holes in them.
Right.
To throw police.
As like a symbol of support.
Right.
And also to throw off the cops.
Right.
Because big dudes with bullet-ridden, shirts or hoodies or whatever.
Right.
So that's obviously going to throw off the cops a little bit.
And a couple of the scenes like that, the police were like telling them to turn around, and the guy would, pull down his hood and go, ha ha ha, I'm not Luke Cage.
Sucker.
Right. And I liked that very much.
Yeah, that was good.
Very good.
All right. So B story.
Cleaning warehouse.
Cleaning warehouse.
Is this where he pulls Luke into a warehouse? Where?
I'm not sure where the warehouse comes in. It's been a while since I watched this episode. So let's just talk about Turk.
Okay.
Because Turk, we get another appearance from Turk from Daredevil.
Right.
Because Luke gets a hold of Turk, forces him to reveal Stryker's location, and then throws him in a dumpster with some nasty diapers.
Right. Gross.
Locks him in there.
Right.
Which is pretty funny and very fitting for Turk. Because if you've read the Daredevil comics at all, you know that Turk is always getting, dissed pretty good.
Yeah.
Deservedly so, because he's a lowlife.
Still.
But, yeah, it's not really good for his look.
No.
Let's just put it that way. And then when I think Luke brings it, mentions to Misty later on that, hey, got Turk Barrett's locked in the dumpster. And she's like, you locked him in a dumpster? And he's kind of shrugs. Yeah, that's kind of what I did.
Yeah.
That's just pretty funny. All right. So let's see. What's our C story?
Diamondback orders Zip to kill Shades. Oh, okay. Cleaning warehouse. This is where I'm talking about. Okay, so Zip and his guys take Shades to a warehouse.
Oh, okay.
And they say that they're taking him to Diamondback, right? And they're going to have a chat.
Yes. Okay, so this is okay. So yeah.
And they end up, going in the elevator, and Shades is smart
Zip
enough
tries
to realize
put a hit on Shades.
But he's not smooth at all.
No, Shades totally, like, owns him in this elevator.
Big time.
Yeah.
And he ends up on the roof, and Zip is down on the ground, and Shades draws his gun on him, and his Zip's gun on him.
Yeah.
And Zip says something about
Zip got zip locked.
Yeah, pretty much.
He needs to find a new zip code.
He says something about okay, who was the other mob boss guy that got killed?
Cologne? No, not Cologne.
You know, the guy that Mariah killed.
Oh,
Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth, yes.
Right. He says something about Cottonmouth, and then Shades goes, well, you can say it to him in person, and then he shoots him, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then Diamondback goes to see Mariah, and Mariah still thinks that she's kind of has some power because of Shades, and Diamondback pulls the whole, well, you know, Shades is dead, because he thinks that Zip has killed him. But little does he know, Shades is a little more resilient
Right.
than these guys. And it just shows you how blinded Diamondback is by his whole vendetta against Luke, because he doesn't see that his henchmen just don't have it. You know, he puts his faith in these guys, and he's just like, okay, you can do it, but he doesn't really vet them.
No, because Shades has his own agenda.
Right.
And, you know, like, he goes to Mariah, and he's like, hey, why don't we get Luke on our side?
Right.
By giving him evidences of his innocence.
Right. But I mean,
so it's like, hey, we could all team up take out Diamondback.
Right. But Diamondback is, you know, he is assuming that his guys can take out Shades.
Right.
But he doesn't even vet them. You know what I mean? He's just so into this whole vendetta that he's like, okay, you can do it.
Right.
And he doesn't really care whether he can or not. Because and he gets a suit. Okay, can we talk about Diamondback's suit for a minute?
Yeah.
Bad.
Well, they try to make it look a little bit like the comics.
Yeah, but it's not good.
Yeah.
They make fun of Luke Cage's outfit from the comics by putting him in it because it was hanging on the laundry line.
Yeah.
Why did
this is the, you know, like, he doesn't have powers yet.
Right.
So basically it's just like, I got to have a suit to take on Luke.
I get it. But why does he...
It's the prototype.
Have they not learned anything from Arrow? Because that BB helmet was really bad.
I don't think it was as bad as Dignito's.
No, not quite, but it was not great.
Yeah. The visor thing. Yeah.
You know, they could have just had him like with a SWAT suit on, and I would have been okay with that. It would have been close enough for me, and it would have looked better for him to have like a SWAT team outfit on. You know, he could have gotten his hands on that.
Oh, I'm sure he could have.
So I would have been fine with, you know, all black SWAT team outfit. I mean, why not?
They were trying to do a comic homage.
I know. But it distracted me from it by making me laugh out loud at Diamondback. You know what I mean? I was just like, no. And I don't know if I was Luke Cage.
Diamondback became such a one-note villain.
Yeah.
That it kind of suits him.
I guess.
That it's like, okay, I'm just going to go, like, I'm all about my vendetta. I'm going to be a supervillain. I'm going to go totally supervillain route. Right.
And I was surprised that when he and Luke Cage faced off, that Luke just didn't go, you're kidding, right?
Just start laughing. Just pounds the pavement.
Right.
Rolls over.
Yeah. I mean,
he's like ROTFL.
It wouldn't have surprised me.
Yeah.
It really wouldn't have. Dude, what are you wearing? Why you got that helmet on, man?
I thought my yellow shirt was bad with the tiara.
That's right. What are you wearing? Yeah.
You look like you got, you're dressed up like a turtle.
Right. And that was the striker in the breastplate thing. That was my third title, striker in the breastplate. Cleaning warehouse, that was Shades, and then striker in the breastplate was that.
So basically we have Luke, Mariah, and Shades all like getting together at Pop's barbershop.
Right.
And Mariah and Shades offer Luke the information he needs to clear his name.
Right.
But because they want his help.
Mm-hmm.
And then Diamondback, of course, shows up.
Wearing
that really ugly suit.
In the horrible suit. And Mariah and Shades take off because they realize.
And then the music starts bump, 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 and then they're like, getting ready to finish him.
Right. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. The highlight of this episode for me, I think, was the Method Man part, because it was really building up to, it was that kind of Rocky moment.
Yeah.
You know, where he's running up the steps and the music's building, you know, rising up straight to the top. But we had rap instead.
But as the penultimate episode.
Yeah.
It didn't really build up the way it should have.
No, it didn't.
Toward that season finale.
No.
And that kind of reflected in my rating.
Yeah, me too.
So what was your rating?
And we were on the same page for everything in this episode, by the way.
Totally on the same page.
I know. I gave it 8 camo hoodies because that's the kind that Method gave him, a camouflage hoodie.
Right. And I gave it 8 out of 10 nasty dumpsters.
Yeah, it was nasty.
That was nasty.
It was. Poor Turk.
Not poor Turk. He's a scumbag.
Yeah, okay.
Remember, he was doing human trafficking.
I know he was, but dude.
How can you say poor Turk to a
diapers? Diapers, man. That's all I can say.
He's lucky it was just diapers.
I guess. Okay.
Right.
So
season finale, Luke Cage, episode 13.
You Know My Steez.
You Know My Steez. Written by Ada Mashaka Crowell and Chio Hadori Coker.
Pardon you.
Directed by Clark Johnson.
Right.
And one of those names does not fit the other.
No. One of these things does not like the others. One of these things just isn't the same.
You got these big three name names and then Clark Johnson.
Right. Clark Johnson.
So what's our A, B, and C?
A Rage in Harlem. And by the way, that is a book, the name of a book written by Chester Himes in real life. A Rage in Harlem, which is why I picked it. They call the wind Mariah because someone flitted away on the wind.
And the wind cried Mariah.
Yeah.
Instead of Mary.
And Claire knows a guy.
Claire knows a guy. Yeah. So, all right. So, A Rage in Harlem obviously has to be the throwdown.
Mm-hmm.
The showdown in Harlem.
That's right.
Between Luke Cage and Diamondback. So
That's
here
right.
it is. We've been waiting the whole half of the season for these guys to throw down proper.
Mm-hmm.
And we immediately start off with flashbacks.
That's right, to the boxing ring.
All of a sudden, we turn into an episode of Arrow.
However, these are not horrible flashbacks. They do show a dynamic between the two.
Right, because, we find out that Diamondback used to coach Lucas when he was just Carl Lucas.
Right.
And I guess Carl was facing off against some neighborhood bully or what have you. And Carl refused to back down because I'm a Lucas.
Right. And it shows how much Stryker hated his dad.
Right.
I mean,
and he's also, Carl, I think that kind of, it's the hint of resentment that Diamondback has for Luke Cage because Luke sees himself, I'm the real son.
Right.
I'm the Lucas. You're not a Lucas.
Right. Exactly right.
And you wouldn't understand. He even says that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't understand.
Right. But Luke, Carl, didn't know. Right? I mean, he didn't know that they were brothers at that point.
No, he didn't.
So it's not like he was challenging him at that point. He was just saying
No, he just thought he was like a friend of his.
Right. So he was just saying, I'm a Lucas, so I have to do this. But of course, Stryker didn't take it that way. He took it a different way. So he is already building that resentment when Carl had no agenda in his head. So again, we see that sort of, Carl would have liked to have him as a brother, but Stryker had no intention of ever being that, ever. So
with the flashback, setting up, where we are in the present day, Luke Cage and Diamondback continue fighting inside and outside Pop's barbershop, or what remains of Pop's barbershop, because once again, that poor barbershop takes a beating.
Gone. It is gone.
And I can imagine that Eddie Fish.
Oh yeah, he's not opening.
He's just going, oh, seriously? I just got this place fixed up.
Right. The insurance is not going to take care of it this time. Yeah.
You couldn't just take it down the street.
Right. You can't ruin someplace else.
So
are you targeting Pops? Is that the deal? It's going to be called the incident at Pops now.
Right. So yeah, exactly. Instead of the incident with the the Chitauri, you've got the incident at Pops.
Right. Incident at Pops.
Yeah. So they keep throwing down. Diamondback pretty much gets the upper hand on Luke for most of that fight.
Yeah, but Luke realizes that it doesn't matter because all he has to do is kind of wait him out.
Yeah.
So he just waits him out.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's essentially how he wins the fight.
Yeah, he tries to outlast him.
Right.
He takes some punches. He tries to because Luke has fought in prison.
Right. Oh
so
yeah, we had that whole
fight. So he kind of learned to okay, he knows how to take a punch, several punches. And then he kind of where the suit's power system starts failing, Luke takes the upper hand and is that's it, knocks him out.
Right. Because he's already Stryker, Diamondback, has already expelled all his energy trying to take Luke down. So by the time the suit fails,
running out of power.
Right, he's already gone, and he just uppercuts him, and the lights go out. Yeah. So he's arrested.
Meanwhile,
he's arrested. And
so
Misty has to bring Luke in too.
Well, before that, Misty drops her phone, and Mariah loses all the files, which prove Luke's innocence.
Yeah. Loses.
Lost. Yeah, air quotes. Loses the files.
Right. But Misty has a thing in her pocket, has a ace in the hole, is that she has, what's her name? The waitress.
Candace,
thank you.
Yeah, she also calls out Luke, says, oh, by the way, his real name is Carl Lucas.
Mariah does that, on TV.
Yeah, so yeah. That former criminal, that escaped criminal named Carl Lucas.
Mariah.
Subtly, not so subtly mentioned on TV.
Right. Okay, so
it's
thanks. That gets set up, but, Misty takes everybody in, and she has Candace in her pocket, and she confronts Mariah with everything, which is stupid because Mariah calls in a favor and Candace is axed. So there goes that. And hello, Mariah. Seriously? Candace is dead?
I am stunned. I am shocked.
Could there be any worse acting? Really?
Yes. Yeah. Well, not so horrible acting from the actress.
No. I mean, not Alfre Woodard. She did great.
Not Alfre Woodard, but just the character.
Yeah, the character.
The character of horribly acting.
Right. Alfre Woodard is amazing in this role. She plays Black Mariah. Is that her name?
Yeah, that's because that's the character from. But obviously, you didn't want to call her just Black Mariah,
right?
Because
of course. But
although Cottonmouth did mention that her street name was Black Mariah.
right. So she does a great job playing her. I mean, an amazing job. Just completely evil. No good in her at all. And they have to let her go. And Misty is so angry. Misty goes to see Candace in the morgue. Just so mad that this life has been snuffed out because of Mariah, who is worthless. Just worthless. And that means that Mariah and Shades have their empire happening. Diamondback is still alive. And of course, this means what? The doctor's gonna take him and do an experiment, of course. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right?
Right.
So, let's see, Claire. Oh, and Claire, when they come to take Luke away, to take him back to prison because he's Carl Lucas, we get a little shout out, don't we? Because Claire knows a guy.
Yeah, Claire knows a guy. Oh, it's like, oh yeah, I know a skilled lawyer who could like help you out. Now, hopefully for Luke's sake, she's talking about Foggy, who's a much better attorney than Matt.
Right. But I'm guessing she means Matt.
I'm sure she means Matt, but.
Well, she might go.
Think about it. Would you rather have?
I'd rather have Foggy. I'd rather have Foggy. 100%. However, she might go to the firm and get both of them.
Right.
Because they work together sometimes.
And and when they're together, they're fine because Foggy usually
takes
presents during the trial and then Matt does the closing.
Right.
Which is good.
Right. So, I mean, if that happens, then great.
But Matt has a tendency to disappear.
Right.
So I would get Foggy.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. And she knows Foggy now too. So
yeah,
there's that. Yeah. And Sharon Jones does a song in this episode called 100 Days and 100 Nights, which is amazing.
Right.
I like that. And that was over a little montage of things happening in the neighborhood. Again, we see the decimated inside of Pops with Fish standing there just kind of.
It was taken out by 10%.
Huh?
That's what decimated means. Taken out by 10%. So it's a pet peeve.
Sorry.
It's a grammar thing.
Oh, so what should I say? Obliterated.
Just to trashed.
How about obliterated?
Yeah.
Is
demolished,
that good? Demolished.
Whatever.
Okay.
Totaled.
All right. I'm sorry. I didn't know that actually.
But a lot of people don't know that. When you hear people say decimated, look it up. It's actually like
I get it.
It means you reduce it because, like, when you say their forces were decimated, that traditionally
taken
means
out
that
by
they were
10%.
taken out by 10%.
Well, it makes sense because decky means 10 and mated means
so
destroyed.
little writing tip for
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I won't use it anymore as that. Okay, so it was destroyed.
You learned something today.
It was completely destroyed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
As many times as I do that for you, I appreciate it.
I was like, ooh, I get the chance to flip this on her.
Thank you. No, I really do appreciate it because I don't like misusing words. That's good. And then I also, they show Claire, taking, the tab off of one of those ads for like a ninja training.
Yes. Yeah. That was one of the flyers. Now that it's a self-defense class.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice the flyer really closely, who's teaching the self-defense class but Colleen Wing?
That's right.
Misty Knight's future partner in the Daughters of the Dragon.
That's right.
Also known as the Nightwing Detective Agency.
Yep.
Get it?
Nightwing. That's right.
Not like Dick Grayson Nightwing.
No.
And also, Colleen Wing, Iron Fist's girlfriend.
That's right.
On the upcoming Iron Fist TV series.
So I'm assuming that's them kind of tying that into Iron Fist. So that means that we'll see Claire on Iron Fist.
But hopefully it means that Claire learns how to fight.
That would be good.
Yeah, that probably would. She probably needs it considering with the way she's going through the Netflix universe.
Yeah. Now,
she probably needs to learn how to fight.
Mind you, she's escaped danger. Fine. But learning how to fight won't hurt.
She could learn some skills. Now, she does have some skills because when that that whole sequence, I think it was episode 11 or whatever, when or 10, that she and Misty were kind of having to fight to stay alive together.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they take out shades.
And all the Judas bullets were firing in that basement.
Exactly.
Yeah. Before we get to our ratings, I have some notes. When they're taking Luke back to jail, one of the cops is reading a Chester Himes book. And he was an early 20th century author specializing in crime dramas that sometimes dealt with the subject of racism. He wrote many books centered in Harlem, and one notable title is Cotton Comes to Harlem.
Yeah.
So
interesting. Yeah.
And then, of course, A Rage in Harlem, which I used as one of our titles. And if you're interested in that sort of thing, Chester Himes, very prolific. He wrote a lot of short stories. I looked him up. I read a couple of his short stories, and they were very good. So.
Oh, okay. Now, a couple of things that we forgot to cover. Eddie Fish finds those files in the barbershop.
Oh, that's right.
So he may be getting Luke
so he may
exonerated.
get Luke free. Yeah.
So hopefully.
So does that mean Eddie Fish is going to talk a Foggy? So Foggy Fish?
So I guess this means that maybe Eddie Fish is in the Defenders.
Oh, that would be good.
So we'll see. And we had Stryker recovering in the hospital.
I said that. And
okay.
Then the doctor's going to come and
yeah. Okay. Well, hearing.
It's all right.
Okay.
And then while I didn't like the AV Club the AV Club has a review site. I didn't like the review, and I said they have a right to their opinion even if it's wrong.
Right.
This line cracked me up. I'm going to amuse myself between seasons by writing Mariah and Shade's erotic fan fiction.
I saw that.
And it made me laugh. But their review of 113 was not so stellar. They hated it.
Yeah.
But
I think it was a little harsh.
I thought so too.
Harsh. It's
unfairly harsh.
I mean, it's a decent ending. It's just not a great, tremendous.
It wasn't a 10, but
no, it wasn't. And we'll go in that in the rating. So, what was your rating?
My rating was 8.5. Traceable burner phones, because they traced her burner phone,
right?
Which I didn't get.
Which it kind of defeats the purpose of a burner phone,
right? It sure does.
Yeah, because the whole point is I don't want anybody tracing me.
Right. So Candace had a traceable burner phone, which was the dumbest thing ever.
Well, I mean, if it emits a signal, you would think it could be traced no matter what.
Yeah, but you have to know the phone in order to trace it, and the whole point of a flip burner phone is that
hand wave.
Right. Okay. So anyway, go ahead.
And mine also, and totally in sync on this one, 8.5 self-defense flyers because Iron Fist.
I know. I can't wait. What's the next? Is it Iron Fist is the next one?
Iron Fist is the next Netflix series that is debuting, I believe, in March.
Good.
And then The Defenders, which unites Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist, of course. That is rumored for sometime in the summer.
Awesome.
We don't have a premiere date yet, but it will be after that. And then I believe after that will be The Punisher.
Excellent.
Because that's filming, so I'm guessing that will be next.
So Iron Fist is a happy birthday present for me.
Yeah.
Yay.
So I might get The Defenders for my birthday.
That's great.
So we'll see.
They love us.
Yes.
And
I'm really looking forward to Iron Fist because this is the one I've been wanting really badly.
It looks great.
I want to see I want to see the whole stuff with Kunlun. I want to see all this mysticism, and really looking forward to it. And I was reading something that apparently Iron Fist is the one character who's really going to know what's going on, kind of like Stick.
Right.
He's kind of dialed into that secret war that's been building throughout the first 2 seasons of Daredevil, and so on.
Right.
So,
okay, here's a segue for you, and I hope you can hear me okay.
Yeah, so do I.
Okay. In my game that I play, there was it was 2 expansions ago, but it was all Asian based.
Okay.
Myths of Pandaria. And there, and there was a whole area, a whole region called the Kunlun Summit. So it was Kun Lao.
Kunlun.
Yeah, it wasn't called that. It was called Kun Lao, but it was dedicated essentially to the whole like Marvel-y. There were Marvel references everywhere in that area. So I just thought I'd throw that at you since.
That's cool.
Yeah, there were references everywhere in it. They love pop culture references in that game.
Very nice.
So. It was pandas. They have
like Kung Fu Panda type
well,
references.
They've been doing Pandaren stuff since the game started. So Pandarans have been in the game, not in the game, but in the lore of the game since long before Kung Fu Panda. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Do we have any feedback this week?
No, again, because
but
Justina doesn't.
We did get some feedback from Ken from Chicago who like spammed Twitter.
He did.
So Ken, if you're listening, thanks for listening to the Fandom Zone. But damn, brother, you just really posted a lot on Twitter. Like you were almost like live tweeting one of our podcasts.
He was. He says, wait, so Alvaria does episode segments subtitles for every show you podcast about? Also, please sing.
Yeah.
And I sang a little bit in this episode, so there's that.
Did. So, and can you see how easy it is to get sucked into that Star Wars, Star Trek argument? Because once again...
Right?
Mm-hmm. You see, welcome to my life. This is...
Right.
Any area is trying to tell like, the Star Trek Federation starships could easily outmaneuver or out defeat the TIE fighters.
You know what? They can't because you know why? Because they don't exist. How's that?
Then he goes off in this whole like, the Abrams Trek is not the real Star Trek and blah, blah, blah. And,
right.
So
they don't exist.
I just let him go after a point.
I know.
I didn't want to offend him.
Ken's great, though.
I didn't want to offend you, Ken. I really didn't. So.
And he says he doesn't know why Daryl's wearing an A, the letter A.
Right, because that was the question I posed. I'm like, I have no
idea. I don't know either.
Nobody knows. It's a big mystery.
And Rick saying he only had a day to scavenge.
Yeah, I don't remember
with the boat.
That.
I don't either, but I believe him.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I just don't remember it.
Yeah. And he says that we both do the show so well that even if he disagrees, he'll keep listening. So that's nice.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Ken. I hope you keep listening.
Yeah.
So, you could just agree with us.
It's much easier that way.
It's much easier, and people will like you more. No, I'm just kidding.
No, please disagree with us. We're good with that.
You're perfectly entitled to your opinion.
Of course.
We're cool. We're secure. Unlike some president-elects.
Oh, my God.
We're secure with people, like, disagreeing with us.
On Twitter.
And we're not going to go on a big Twitter rant about it.
No.
Like a big baby.
No. Sad. Because that's the end of all these Twitters. Sad.
Yeah.
God damn.
Anyway, enough of that nonsense.
He's the dumbest. Yeah. So if you want to do feedback, and this is great feedback, by the way, I would have read this whole thing if we had time because there was like 20 of them.
Thanks for they're totally spamming us.
Ken, you're amazing. I enjoyed reading the whole, I responded a few times to it. When I had time, I had other stuff happening this week.
I had people chiming in, liking my post for, or like,
same
saying,
here.
Backing me up on the Star Wars. Like, it's like,
yeah. So you can get to us there at Fandom Zonecast. That's our Twitter handle. So just hit us up there, and our personal Twitters, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah, please like us on iTunes. Give us a rating on iTunes.
Sure.
We haven't had one of those for a while.
That's right. Find us in the iTunes store. Just write in Fandom Zone Podcast, and it comes right up. Facebook.com/Fandom Zone Podcast. And our email is fandomzonecast@gmail.com. And where can they find you, Mr. Charles Skaggs?
They can find me, of course, at Charles Skaggs on the Twitter machine, at Charles Skaggs on the Instagram.
Yes.
Google Plus for all you crazy kids on the Google Plus. Facebook, of course. my blog, Geeky Things, Damn Good Coffee and Hot.
That's right.
Where I talk about all these comic book shows and more. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is back. And we've got Gotham and Lucifer coming back.
This week.
So we're starting to get busy again. And then my brand new podcast, Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks podcast, which is officially out now.
Ooh.
You can download it on the iTunes or, the Google Play Music or you can download it on,
Stitcher?
Southgate Media. Would presume so.
Okay, good.
Hopefully Rob's all over that, getting us out there. But I know for a fact that we are definitely at least on iTunes.
Do you have a Facebook page yet?
We have a Facebook page.
Awesome.
With the Twin Peaks podcast. So please like us on there. And then we've got a Twitter account at GhostwoodCast.
Excellent.
So yeah, please like us. And then with Twin Peaks coming back, we had the first season marathon on Showtime on Saturday. So, obviously building up interest. We've got lots of teasers coming out. We actually have a start date now for the new Twin Peaks on Showtime.
I saw
May
that.
21st. So everybody's geeking up. So now's a great time to get in and
rewatch.
I'm joined by my friend Zan Sprouse, who is the wife of comic book artist Chris Sprouse.
Nice.
And we've been friends for a while, and I know she's a hardcore Twin Peaks geek. I'm a Twin Peaks geek. So hopefully it sounds great, and hope you come check it out because we really appreciate it, and tell your friends about us.
Will do.
Yep.
Okay, and I am at Oliveria on the Twitter machine. There's a link in my bio to my brand new blog. I have my own URL.
Which I have checked out.
Yeah, I changed it a little bit. Have you seen it since I changed it?
No, I haven't seen the update.
Okay, it's not all white on the background anymore.
Okay.
So I made it green.
That was my feedback. That it was a little too light.
It was. I agreed with you.
It's all white bread.
Yeah, it was very stark. It's called Allie's.
Tony Stark?
No. Allie's.
Ned Stark?
No, not Ned Stark. Ned Stark's dead, honey.
Ned's dead.
Ned's dead. It's called AllieStuff.com, and the link is still in my bio on Twitter, so you can go straight there. The front page.
Please check it out. It's awesome.
Sure. It's the same old crap, though, that it was before.
You don't have to undersell it. It's awesome.
Okay. The front page is my, links. Here's where I am. Find me here page. So everything's right there. It's laid out nicer. I actually decided to get a dedicated page so that I could make everything look prettier. So, hopefully that will help quite a bit with people. And, feel free to share stuff from there if you want. But, that's where you can find all my links there at AllieStuff.com.
Awesome.
So that's it.
That's it. We've got through the episode at long last. Episode 88.
Yay.
The cursed episode 88. So I can actually muddle through. So obviously I think killing the Google Doc helped.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe,
who knows?
yeah.
But we got through it. That's all.
We did. And you heard me mostly.
We should probably just cut our losses and say,
yeah.
See you next time. So next time, episode 89, we're going to be talking about shows again.
That's right.
Coming back from the hiatuses.
Yep, we'll be talking about Lucifer, Gotham, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Is that it?
I think that's it. Maybe is Supergirl back next week? No, not till the other. Okay, not when all the other CW shows come back.
Yeah, when all the other shows come back.
So that's all right. That's like 3 shows right there.
Yep.
So, and then Legion's coming up at the end of the month.
Yep.
Which is good because Gotham and Lucifer are only back for 3 weeks and then they go on hiatus again.
That's right. I know.
And so they go on hiatus the week before Legion starts. So
right.
That works out perfectly.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to reiterate that we're probably not going to talk about Riverdale.
Or Powerless.
I don't mind talking about Powerless, but we don't have to.
We've got lots of other shows to talk about.
Yeah, we don't have to. Just, I do my Nice Girls article about all the...
I might check out the first episode of Riverdale just to see how bad it is.
It's bad.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
The first one is.
Okay.
They did change showrunners though after that first episode.
Oh, so maybe it gets better?
Maybe. I'm not going to be including Riverdale in my pull list on Nice Girls, but I will be putting Powerless
Okay.
in because I am counting that as superhero only.
Okay.
And technically Archie doesn't count as that.
Well, Crimson Fox is in it.
Archie doesn't count as that.
No, but I'm talking about on Powerless, Crimson Fox.
Right. So superhero.
Yeah,
That's why I'm adding in Powerless.
Okay.
So.
Got it. All right.
So that's it for us,
That's it.
everybody.
So thanks for joining us for the first episode of 2017.
Yep.
And
Well, I'm going to go ahead and do the theme at the end.
yeah, please do. Because we kind of need a closeout theme.
I know.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Eventually it's going to start. I promise.
I had to play it again.